Hi honey! Today we're going to be making a delicious chocolate chip cookie recipe that I found actually on a flour bag in New Zealand when I lived there. These are kind of chewy, they're a little bit cakey. You can see they have a little bit of a rise to them, but not too much. Today we're going to chit chat, bake, and talk a little bit about New Zealand life. So ingredients wise, we kind of have our usual suspects. I won't bore you with the details. Start by just sifting together the flour, baking soda, and salt. I lived in New Zealand for about a year in my early 20s. I was on the working holiday visa. If you're under 30, do not sleep on this. It was some of the best years of my life. What I really loved about New Zealand, I think top of mind is obviously nature, and that's why most people go, but the people too. The people are incredibly friendly and super grounded. They're really in touch with the country in a way that I just haven't found at the same level other places I've traveled. They really know everything about New Zealand. Edge, obviously, because it's a small country, but like you'll just be walking with someone and they can just ID a plant really quick and tell you about that plant, or they know everything that comes out of New Zealand down to like Tupperware brands. I also really loved the pace of life there. I think people are just a lot less materialistic, which was a big change for me coming from California, where I'm from. And then, now looking back from living in New York City, just totally different. Now we're going to mix together our sugars and our butter and then beat in the eggs and vanilla. Obviously, I can't talk about New Zealand without talking about how beautiful the nature was. I mean, it is crazy there. The density of beautiful nature is unlike anywhere I've experienced in the world. You can go on like a 5-hour road trip and see, waterfalls and Haas Pass, and then arrive in like Mount Aspiring and see these glacial lakes with mountains just rising straight out of them. It is honestly incredible. I can't speak highly enough, and I still fantasize about a lot of those landscapes and getting the privilege to hike through them and camp and do all those type of activities. Okay, now just add your vanilla and your whole egg plus egg yolk. I want to get all of that yolky goodness out. When I lived in Wanaka, which is where I spent most of my time in my working holiday, beautiful mountain town, I actually had an egg dealer, which I don't know if it's like novel for everyone, if this would be normal for you, but we would leave like a $5 note and an empty carton for eggs in the mailbox. And then our neighbor would just come and put like beautiful fresh eggs in it. I don't know, maybe it added to like why this recipe was so special for me is just using those beautiful eggs. Now we're just gonna add our dry ingredients together, kind of fold or beat them in as needed. I highly recommend touring around in a camper van. I think this is like a lot of what makes the experience special. I think one of my favorite van memories was we wanted to like make a little money. We've been traveling a while, so we're like, okay, we'll just like work on this cherry farm in the South Island in Otago. And we're working on this cherry farm for weeks. I kind of was like, I'm sick of the cherry farm. My hands were like so beat up from it, and I was getting a lot of allergies at the time. And I was like, let's just leave. Like, let's just cash out, leave. So we did, and we drive down to Dunedin, which is kind of at the bottom of the South Island. Pull up, and there's 2 bars, and he's like, which one should we go into? And I'm like, oh, let's go into that bar. They're playing Pink Floyd. And then this guy turns around and is like, oh, Pink Floyd's playing tonight. Like Roger Waters is playing tonight, and there's tickets available. So we literally like get the beers and then buy the tickets right then. And then an hour later, we're watching Pink Floyd in New Zealand and like the bottom of the earth. It was super magical. I feel like traveling when you can just be spontaneous like that and have no set agenda is really special. And if you're just open, you can make memories you never even expected you would have. Beautiful. So we have the dough, pretty standard. And now we're going to add the best part, the chocolate chips. Yay. Great, so just push those in with a spoon. I think that's kind of the easiest way to do it. And just one more step before you chill the dough is obligatory taste test. It's pretty good. All right, honey, dough is chilled. Time to ball these up. And I'm actually just gonna roll up my sleeves and get my hands in here. I did wash them, I promise. Everyone always goes to Queenstown. It's adventure capital of the world, I think is their slogan. But I really would recommend if you have time also checking out Wanaka. It's super beautiful. I think it's like an hour, hour and a half away. When I lived there, I lived in a house with 5 or 6 roommates, and we were all from different countries. All of my roommates were really, really into the outdoors, and we were always doing things. We were mountain biking in the summer, in the spring, and then in the winter, obviously like skiing all the time. And when my visa was coming to an end, it was summer. I was just so comfortable there. I really wanted to go camping one last time, and no friends wanted to go with me. So I actually went camping by myself. I went to like an out and back hike, and there was a hut at the end. New Zealand is famous for these huts that are just like very clean and insulated, and you can go and sleep in them. And I don't see anyone on the way out there. And I get to the hut, I watch the sunset. It's beautiful. I feel so, I don't know, empowered and awesome. And of course, like that hiking high that you get. And then it starts getting dark. And I start getting a little worried. I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, I'm by myself. Like, what if someone else just shows up in the middle of the night? And then I start getting paranoid. Like, well, what if it's, frankly, like, what if it's some man and he has bad intent? And I did not sleep all night. I had my little like headlamp on and I'm looking out the window. And then I see the sunrise finally. And I'm like, okay, I survived. Great. So then I felt empowered again, and I was just on top of the world. I hiked back again. I saw no one. Like this entire 24 hours was just by myself. And I get back and I get into my car and I immediately call my boyfriend and I'm like, oh my God, you'll never believe it. I just went on this hike by myself. As I'm on the phone with him, I'm like reversing the car back and I just feel this like thud. And I'm like, shit, like what just happened? I somehow reversed into a ditch. I couldn't move the car. Like my back wheels are like hanging off this edge and I don't have traction. So I'm calling everyone I know in town, seeing if anyone's free, like please help. My phone's dying because I don't know, I didn't bring a portable charger, just so many rookie mistakes, just so trusting. And then right as my phone is about to fully die, this like truck is pulling by and I like wave them down quickly. He comes over and this guy gets out of the car and he says, oh, it looks like you're stuck. And he just casually, Kiwi guy, some local, like goes in the back of his truck, like gets his hook out, hooks my car on, just like pulls me out of this ditch with his car, not his hands, of course. And then was like, that's it. And was like, yeah, thanks. Like, have a good day, miss. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of the coolest end of that story. Partly because I was so afraid that night of like a man coming and harming me. And then the fact at the end of the story, it was like a guy that helped me and like helped me get out. So camping alone as a female, I don't want to say I recommend it. For me, I think it's probably like skydiving. I think I did it once. I survived and I'm going to keep that memory forever. Okay, yay! So these are almost done. I just popped them in the oven for around 15 minutes per batch. And I mean, take a look at these. They're so beautiful. You just can't go wrong with chocolate chip cookies, but for me, these taste especially delicious because of all the memories I have with them. Thanks so much for baking with me, and let me know what you think.